These are on the bottom, but you don't need to make them negative. It just means x times x, x squared. One of the biggest problems that occurs in equations is making a mistake when they're adding or subtracting a fraction, or making careless mistakes with negative numbers. So what's 4 minus 8? 4 minus 8. You're doing 8 minus 4.
Negative 4.
Right. So it should be 5. So they have an idea of how to solve it, but then they make a mistake. And it's not because of lack of understanding how to solve an equation. It's because students are making mistakes like 1/2 plus 1/3 is 1/5. So if you have a half x and you're adding a third x to both sides, they write 1/5 x. And it's not because they're doing the wrong process. Yeah, you probably had to add a third x to both sides, but they're making mistakes with fractions. Similar with decimals and often with negative integers. How did you get 15?
Because I added 4x plus 11.
Why can't she add 4?
Because they're not equal.
They're not.
They don't, because 11 doesn't have x on it, so you can't add it.
Right, they're not like terms.
Yeah, they don't have like terms. Makes equal negative 4.
Okay, now plug it back in and check it to see if it's right.
4.
The other thing that I see a lot is I'll ask them to check their answer. Substitute it back, check it. So they substitute it back and they're saying, oh yeah, it's done, they're equal, without actually making sure and actually doing the process of checking. Understanding the relationship between checking an equation and what you do to solve an equation fits together and helps them understand what they're doing when they're solving the equation. Okay, go ahead to your check.
We checked our answers by rewriting the answers, but instead of putting x, we put 2's, and it's negative 15 times 2 plus 2 equals negative 28, so we plugged it in, and it was negative 30 plus 2 equals negative 28, so it's equal, so it's check, yeah.
Balanced.
Yeah, back.
Great, good job. Thank you, very good. When they take their answer and plug it back in, they're going to do the opposite, which is multiplying. They divided to find it, now they're going to multiply, and they had subtracted before, now they're going to add. So they're doing the inverse operations, and they're doing the exact inverse operations in the opposite order. So they're getting a sense of, I took this off, and then I'm putting it back in the exact same way.
Plug it in, 16, then equals to 48 plus 12.
I think we got confused there.
Right here.
Okay, let's go back to what you did. So when you plugged it in is where you got confused, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the very top. What's your first term? They become pretty lazy about checking it. What I ended up doing is I said to them, if when you check it, you realize you did something wrong, and you write a note saying, I thought I did it right, but I checked it and I did something wrong, I'll give you more credit than if you just check it and it's wrong, and you say that they're right. So if you can catch your mistake, then I'll give you partial credit because you're showing that you're actually trying to figure it out. There are some students who I will make write down each step because they're not doing it mentally, and I can see that they're not doing mentally, so I'll have them actually write down each step. And so I have different criteria for different students. And there are some students I'll just meet with them individually, and I'll say, now for the rest of your homework, and when I see your work on a test, I need to see you write it down each step so that I know you're actually figuring it out. Because you want to catch your own mistakes. You want to be able to tell that you've made a mistake and go back and fix it.
Then we checked it. It was 24. We plugged in the 2 plus.
The solution to an equation makes that equation true on both sides. So this starts thinking about what is an equation and what does it mean to be an equation. The idea that you're getting the same number on both sides means that your equation is balanced is sort of the beginning of algebraic thinking and what an equation is. Great job writing your steps, really good job.